my name's Jessica Ortega and my Instagram handle is @herhairstory. I'm going to be showing you a figure 8 infinity braid today on Amanda. I previously did some prep work for her look where I pulled the sides and the back into a really nice top ponytail just to have a more sleek finish, and then I'll be adding the infinity figure 8 braid just through the top to give the completed look a little more interest. So here we go. With my subsection, I'm going to go in and find where the round of her head is to get my first section. One thing that I'd like to mention is that the front section should be a little wider than normal because you're going to need the extra length of your beginning strands to reach back to this section, and having that extra length will come in handy later after we finish doing the rotations of this section all the way to the back. So you start with the 2 strands and you're going to take a small sliver of strand 1. This is going to be strand 2. The small subsection that you pick up is going to be your floating strands to work between strands 1 and 2. So here we go. Your floating strand is going to go under strand 1, over strand 2. I'm going to tuck it back under strand 2, bring the floating strand to the middle, and hook it around back over my original first strand. And this is going to complete my rotation by tucking back under strand 1. And this is where we're going to start adding hair from the section into the floating strand. So tilt your head back just a little for me. We're going to pick up a subdivision and add that to the floating strand. Get strand 1 out of the way. Combine the 2 through the middle. Start your rotation by maneuvering it over strand 2, under strand 2, back around and over strand 1, and there you go. I'm going to start the second rotation, have my floating strand go back over strand 2. I'm going to pick up another subdivision, tuck that into where my floating strand is living, combine the 2 together, flip it so it's over the top of strand 1, back around and under, tuck it again, back and over strand 2, and tuck it again. You'll notice I'm keeping the positioning of my fingertips really, really close to the scalp. That way I don't get a lot of bumps throughout here with those subsections working into the braid. So trying to keep the length of these strands separated. I'm doing so by having some of the Velveteen Dream Smoothing Lotion throughout the hair just to create a little bit of wetness. That way I can maintain control as I'm going through and working this floating strand over and around strand 1 and strand 2. There we go. And I'm going to complete this interval back to the beginning of my rotation. My floating strand is right there. I'm going to pick up and add to it once more. There we go. And I'm going to continue with that same rotation all the way through. Once again, picking up hair from my subsection, adding it within my floating strand, flipping it over strand 2, over strand 1, back around again to complete my rotation. Start another by positioning it over strand 2, adding within my floating strand and continuing that back again, just like so. Here's my floating strand, that's right where it lives. I'm going to pick up a little more for the subdivision. Add that within my floating strand. I'm able to pull the length of my strands a little more taut to kind of bring the braid back to its maximum tightness. I'm going to pick up another subdivision. There we go. Not elevating my strands too much. Rotating that in. There's just a small amount of hair left. I'm going to go ahead, pick up the last of this as cleanly as possible. Add that within my floating strand. Flip it over the top of strand 2, under strand 2, back around strand 1, and that completes the full rotation of the interval. I'm going to use a small clear elastic just to tie this off here. I want to maintain the smooth, sleek finish to the length of this to add to the look in the back. There we go. Pull this nice and taut. I want to blouse this infinity braid out just a little bit. Add some texture powder just on the top. The latest Vandal powder from Amika is giving me just that little bit of grip to kind of go in and customize the width of this braid on the very top of her hair. To complete the look, I don't want to have this elastic showing, so I'll take just a small piece of her own hair, wrap it around the elastic like so, using the Fluxus hairspray. Get a little bit of the hold reinforced. I'm going to layer a little more of the shield. Right through there before I hit it with my flat iron. Go ahead and look down for me. Right in through here, the length of what's left from her braid, I'm going to loop through the base of her ponytail just to kind of have it hidden within the inside. Almost like a cool geometric linear accent to the total look. Tucking the ends right back around itself into the opening from underneath, securing it with the Fluxus hairspray. I want to have a little more of a reflective shine finish to her hair, so I'm going to hit it with a little more Fluxus. Making sure that everything is going to dry right into place. just like so. So there you have it. She's got an accent infinity 8 braid through the top of her full look, leading back to the sleek ponytail through here with some gold black elastic to exaggerate the look of the ponytail, to give her a more projected finish with it. And there you go. Now go. There she is.